Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited to share with you our Read Across America book. This is Winston and the Missing Apples, and my name is Lauren Denny, and we own a ranch called the Simply Country Ranch, and I'm so excited that you guys are joining us today. So hopefully, this will be a repeat live if you're not able to view it with us right now, and you can share it in your classroom or just go ahead and listen to it as a bedtime story later tonight. So, today is going to be introducing you to our main character, and our main character is Mr. Winston. Winston, are you ready? Winnie, come here. Okay, he's coming. You hear him? Come here, Winnie. Want to jump up here? Yes. Look who it is. Say hello, Mr. Thank you very much, Winnie. This is Winston. Winston, look at the camera. Yes, I know you're very excited. Winston is our ranch dog, and he has a buddy. Her name is Charlie. But when we wrote the book, Winston was our main character, and he just loves all the animals and running around. Winston, can you jump up here for me? Winnie, up, right here. Up. Good job. Okay, good job, Winston. And you can face the camera. There you go. This is Winston. He is a border collie, and he is so smart. He loves being around animals, and he is a natural herding dog, which means that Winston loves to go ahead and chase the animals, and he thinks that he's going to put them in one particular area. So his favorite animal is chickens. Is that right? Chickens is your favorite animal, Winston? Winston loves herding the chickens, and chickens don't really need to be herded or put into a certain area because our chickens just kind of run in our backyard and they are finding their food all on their own. But Winston really feels that he needs to keep them in one particular area. So I love watching Winston run around and have a good old time with them. Another animal that he loves is the ducks. The ducks are a good friend of his, and he also is really good about helping them find their own home. Because at night, sometimes those ducks, they love to go ahead and just hang out outside of their house without being going to bed on time. But we like to have our friends go to bed on time, so we close them in at the edge of their duck house, so then that way they can be nice and safe, and so no predators would be able to go into their house. So isn't that right, Winston? You say, go in there, Mr. Ducks. Yes, thank you, sir. Winston, can you tell us another animal that you love to herd? Are they sheep? Winston loves sheep too. The sheep are very loud. Yeah, I know. Winston has a friend named Mr. Rupert, and all of the other sheep are good friends of his too. But those sheep also need to be herded. Sometimes they get out, and those sheep like to wander away. And they're kind of funny. They find little holes in the fences a little bit. So we love to have Winston around to help us with that so they can go back to where they need to go. And we actually just had two new friends that were born on the farm this morning. They are baby doll smiling sheep. And Winston was up there with us today. And we got the call from Ben, who is helping us do the morning chores. So Farmer Ben was up there and he was helping make sure that those babies were up and eating and they were all taken care of by their mom. And one is a boy, and I think the other one is a girl. So we're so excited to have some new babies on the farm and have some just nice little healthy babies. They are all white, and they come from the dad is Mr. Rupert, and Rupert is in our story. And Winston and I are going to start reading in about 2 minutes. We're going to start reading Winston, okay? So we're just talking about our book and Winston and the Missing Apples. And we have the border collie because he's our main character. So my name is Lauren Denny, and Winston lives with us. And my husband, Farmer Ben, is another main character in the story. And we wanted to share this book with you. But we have another friend that we need to introduce before Winston kind of runs off and goes and plays. So our other friend that is in the book is really big, Winston. And they have horns, and they've got a lot of fluffy hair, just like you. Winnie, you got a lot of fluffy hair. He's a long-haired border collie. Look at all that. And they even make a sound like moo. Did you hear that, Winnie? Did you hear that? Okay, they are cows. And we even have some cows in the background of our picture right now. We've got this one. That one's name is Maggie, and Maggie is in the book. And Lola is in the book. And then this friend right here, her name is Ruby, or Cow in the Flowers is what our picture is called if you wanted to get that one from our website. And they are Highland cows. Now, when we're going to be reading our book, there is going to be a word inside the book that is called a coo. COO. And I know that some of our readers are really good at spelling. And when they're coming across that word in the book, it says coo. And sometimes it gets confusing because they will message me and say, Mrs. Denny, you made a mistake on your book. And sometimes I do make mistakes. But this one, I did want to make sure that I called our animal a coo because Scottish Highland cows are called a coo. So it does look like a cow, COW, but because of the type of cow they are, we call them a coo. And also, a group of cows is called a fold when you're talking about a Scottish Highland group of cows. But if you're calling a group of cows, we call it a herd. So those are the two terms that you're going to come across that might confuse you a little bit. Okay, Winston, we're going to read your book. Inside your book, we even have like a little place for a paw print. So can you sign your book for us? Thank you. Okay, we'll put your hand down there. Awesome. Thank you so much, sir. Well, Winston, you can go ahead and be all done. Thank you. Okay, Winston. He's so dirty today, so I got it. Now I can sit down and we're going to share our book with you today. We have some special friends that are going to be joining us, and we have Ruby, and this is our Highland cow. She's very fluffy. Look at all this fluffy hair that she's got. And both the boys and the girls of Highland cows have horns. So you'll see that in our book when you see that too. So she's super fluffy. And we've got Winston, our main character. So he says the same coloring, doesn't he? He's brown and white, and he's got his ears are nice and poked up. So then that way he knows when he's really alert and ready for his next task. And then our other friend is Mr. Rupert, and he is a brown baby doll sheep. And look how soft and fluffy he is. So we've got all of the friends on the farm that are going to help us tell the story today. So they're going to go ahead and sit right here in our story. And we're going to go ahead and share with you now Winston and the Missing Apples, our story. And this one is illustrated by Marina Halleck. And the author at the top is Simply Country Ranch. So sometimes our authors will have their name at the top. So it might say Lauren Denny, because that's me. But because we are a ranch and we felt that the author, there's a lot of authors, we called it our ranch because we're a group of people and animals. So our story is a real story. You have all of our animals here. They are just a part of the story as well. So we felt that they were a part of being an author because they helped us write it. Since this is a real story, you're going to see in QR codes that are going to be throughout the book. So we'll go ahead and show you how to use those QR codes. So then that way, when you get your book, you can scan the QR codes and you get to see the animals in real life. Okay, this is called Winston and the Missing Apples. Here we are, Farmer Ben. It's harvesting day. Come on, Farmer Ben, let's go to the orchard. Winston's favorite part of harvesting day is when Farmer Ben shares the leftover apples with all the friends on the farm. Winston and Farmer Ben enter the apple orchard. Someone has been eating the apples. Oh no, I see that on the ground. See all these apples on the ground. Somebody's been eating them, and I don't think it was Farmer Ben. Harvesting day is where you are taking all the apples off the tree as they are ripe and they're ready to eat. And we're putting them into crates, and we can give them out to grocery stores. We can give them to farmers markets so that you can have apples at your own house and you can eat. Can you give me a thumbs up if you love apples? I love apples with peanut butter. Okay. Oh no. Winston, If someone keeps eating the apples, I don't know if there will be apples for everyone to share. Can you help me solve the case of the missing apples? Winston thinks, where should I look first? The farm is so big. The apples could be everywhere. Winston's eyebrows really hard. Where, oh, where could all the rest of eating the apples? Mr. Rupert called out, good morning, Winston. We're headed to the pasture. Would you like to come with us? I can't this morning, guys. I have to find the missing apples. Winston replies, do you know anything about missing apples? Rupert? No, I don't. But I bet the chickens do. They're always in the orchard. Okay, there's Mr. Rupert. There he is. And Mr. Winston is going down and he's trying to figure out, he's leading, the apples are leading him to where they want to be. Okay, I think that we're ready for what the QR code does. So this is a QR code, and you're going to take your phone or your iPad, and we're going to open up your camera, like you were going to take a picture, and you're going to hover over your camera. Hover over the QR code with your camera. And once it scans, a little bar is going to pop up at the top of your phone or your iPad. And you're going to click on the QR code, and it's going to take you to a video so that you can watch the animals in real life. So the video that just popped up on my phone is of the sheep and Winston. So whatever you see on the page is going to come up through the video so you can see what they really look like. Because remember, this story really happened. Someone was actually eating all the apples on our orchard. Let's keep going. The chickens were in the orchard, just as Rupert said that they would be. Hey, ladies, have you seen anyone in the orchard eating apples? Sorry, Winston, we haven't, but we'll help you look. I love this page. If you look really closely, this little chicken has the glasses on. She's trying to look at helping Winston figure out who is eating apples and what is he talking about. Apples being eaten? Okay, everybody's looking around. I see a chicken over here. She's poking her head through. She's really being helpful. She's trying to help out. We've got this little one peeking her head. This one is trying to look at the apple. You're right, Winston. Someone is eating those apples. Here's another QR code. That means we're going to scan it with our phone or our iPad, and we're going to hold it up and see if we can watch the animals in real life. Uh-oh. This page is dark. That means that something might be happening. I need to listen really carefully, right, Rupert? I found another. It looks like a trail leading into the willow tree, cried Harriet. This is Harriet. Come on, ladies. Let's see where the trail leads. Oh, no. You're crazy. If you think we're going in there, Dorothy says. Her face is very scared. I can tell it's going to get scary. Well, if you're too scared, I'll go in myself. Farmer Ben is counting on me. Winston is about to be so brave and go inside the dark, scary tree. Ethel warns, be careful, Winston. Martha covers her eyes. I can't watch. I don't know if I would be brave enough to go inside there. It does look very scary, but I'm noticing that all of these apples are leading inside. Okay, let's see if Winston goes inside. Winston musters up all his courage and steps under the willow tree. Martha turns her back and whispers, he's so brave. Several minutes pass in silence, and the chickens begin to worry. It's been too long. Should someone get Farmer Ben? What are we going to do? Oh, the chickens are huddled together. Just then, Mr. Rupert and the sheep come over and say, "What's going on?" Martha shrieks, "It's Winston! He went under the willow tree." Fanny gasps, "Doesn't he know that a monster lives in there?" This is Mr. Rupert right here, and that's Fanny. Just then a loud crash comes deep within the willow tree. "Run! There's a monster in there!" Winston is very scared. Look at his eyes. They're so wide. He is running so fast. Here's another QR code. You're going to scan that and you get to watch Winston run out of the willow tree, and you get to hear the really loud noise that comes from the willow tree. Winston races over to find Farmer Ben. "Come quick! It's a monster! A monster has been taking the apples! It's hiding in the willow tree." Farmer Ben drops his bucket and heads straight for the tree. There's Farmer Ben and Winston is trying to herd Farmer Ben and say, "Come on, come with me," by pulling on his pant leg. Farmer Ben steps into the willow tree. A few minutes later, Farmer Ben calls out, "There's no monster. It's just Ruby." "Ruby is a cow. She's eating the apples." Look at her watch Farmer Ben poke his head through those willow tree. Here's Ruby. Looks just like her. And then remember, she's right behind me too. There's Ruby because she's in real life. She really does live on our farm. Here's a QR code. You get to scan it. You can see Ruby eating the apples. She loves apples. She was even picking them off of the apple tree. Ruby peeks her head out of the branches. Winston says, "Ruby, you're not supposed to be in the orchard. Let's get you back to the rest of the fold." Sometimes those cows can find a hole in the fence and they wander off, and that's what Ruby did. As Winston and Ruby are walking back, they see the Scottish Highland coos waiting at the fence for harvesting day. "Winston, do you have any apples to share with us?" "I don't think we'll have enough to share the apples this year." "Oh no. How do you think those cows are feeling?" "Their faces kind of look sad, don't they?" Here's a QR code. You can see Winston putting Ruby away and getting to talk to all the other cows. Darla huffs. "Why not?" Ruby whispers, "I'm sorry. I ate the apples." You'll get to see Ruby when you scan the code. Lola begins to cry. Hey, there's Lola behind me. "I was really looking forward to eating apples," Maggie states. "That's okay. We'll get apples next year." And the fold walks away. That was very nice of Maggie, trying to help her friend feel better. "I really love apples, but I didn't think about leaving enough apples for everyone. What should I do?" Ruby asks Winston. "It is important to think of others. I'll ask Farmer Ben if we can share some of the apples he is taking to the market. I'll be right back." What do you think's going to happen? I wonder if he's going to share some apples this year. Farmer Ben's talking to the cows. Moments later, Farmer Ben and Winston return with a bucket of apples. Ruby says to Farmer Ben, "Thank you for sharing your apples. I learned that it is important to put others first, so we can all have a few apples to share. Just then, the fold runs back to the fence, and everyone cheers as Farmer Ben and Winston pass out the apples. Thank you, Farmer Ben, for sharing your apples with the friends on the farm. Farmer Ben looks at Winston. He had quite the harvesting day. You were so helpful in solving the case of the missing apples. I think we all learned how important it is to share. Winston says, "We sure did." And then you get to scan the code and see Winston and Farmer Ben talking at the end of the story. Here's a picture of all of the authors and the illustrator. The illustrator is the one who is drawing the images in the story, and the author is the one that writes the story. So this is Marina Halleck. She lives in Germany, and this is Simply Country Ranch. The two main authors are Ben and Lauren Denny. That's me. And Farmer Ben was in the story. We also have our farm and our ranch. We have Winston and then our two children. Thank you so much for joining us for Winston and the Missing Apples today. I hope that you also learned how important it is to share and think of others, and got to learn a little bit about the type of animals that are visiting and living on a farm. We have Winston and Ruby and Rupert as three of our main characters in our book, as well as the characters that you can have when you are enjoying the story. If you would like to have one at your own house, you can grab our book at simplycountryranch.com along with all of our stuffed animals. Hope you have a fabulous day. Thank you so much for enjoying Winston and the Missing Apples, and don't forget to keep reading for Read Across America Week.